So I've always asked questions my entire life, and that question always came back to why. Why does this toy work this way? Why does this artwork entice me? What? Why did the situation make me sad? And I had a hard time shutting this part of my brain off. And it seemed like it would be fun to make choices that were a little bit more careless and not really think about the ramifications down in the long term. But I still could never understand the value of living in such a way. I've never been to a party, never been to a club. I didn't even go to prom. Yet I don't regret not experiencing these things, even at this weird age of 23. I think I understood life was bigger than high school, bigger than college. Basically, life was bigger than these small parts of my life, right? And I wish I didn't think that way. But I truly believe it was a blessing in disguise because when I used to look at current people my age, or around my age when I was younger, I started to ask myself, okay, what kind of person would I be at this age? Would I still be the same person? Would I have the same interests? Would I even like the same food, right? And for most people, that's you're probably a whole different person than you was at that younger age in your life, whatever age that was. So around from 18 to 21, I started trying on identities like I was in a damn department store. I was just like just saying, "Oh, okay, let me see. I don't, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. Let me try this on. I'm not feeling that." But what this did was it gave me more exposure to to different things to figure out, okay, who am I? What do I like? What is my moral compass? What is some things that I'm just not going to do? It kind of exposed me to certain situations where I kind of had to figure those things out about myself, right? And I assume many people, for the longest, when I think I was like 19, I had this idea that many people they just found a version of themselves that they just liked, they felt like they could stick with, and that was just pretty much who they were going to be for the rest of their lives, right? But this is what we call peaking. It's what we call peaking in high school, peaking in college. I'm glad I did not do that, in either of those. But so where I went from there pretty much, it was like all I cared about during that time period was vanity. But vanity from a form of like spiritual vanity, not like physical. A little bit of physical because of the thing I was doing at the time with personal training and stuff like that, but more so spiritual. And I mean that from regards of I would do things in order to prove to myself that like I was important as a person. And if I didn't do these things, it created this effect of like, damn, you ain't shit. So it was like I was setting myself up for like highs and lows. Like just that was just me because I was like, okay, I have to do these things with this urgency in order to feel important about myself, in order to feel like somebody. It wasn't nobody else putting pressure on me. It was more me putting pressure on myself internally, right? And the problem that I had was I was leading myself to like an implosion. Um, and I ended up leading me to the question of what is the point? What is the use of this experience? What is the point of me being here? Not from like a standpoint of like a dark standpoint where I was gonna hurt myself. No, more so just like I was genuinely curious to okay, I need to quench this desire to find this ultimate meaning for who I am. So I started trying on once again more masks and personas and this and that. But they did it. The mask did its job for the outside world, right? I could put the right face on for the outside world. But when it came to like the inside world, I was still kind of perplexed and confused. I'm like, I truly don't know where to go from here. I'm just kind of winging it, right? And I think I was searching for clarity or this eureka moment where everything just made sense and like my life was just changed forever. Kind of like how they do in movies and excuse me, things like that. Plus, when you're watching hustle culture at a young age, when you're watching like videos and you're trying to figure out your life and you're trying to get it together, that's also kind of how I put it. It's also giving you this false perception of what life really is, right? Because you have to go through your own life experience. Only you can do that. Nobody else can go through that for you. Um, and I was like living through these little self-help books and things like that, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with self-help, but you have to actually help yourself. You can't just look for all the answers in books and YouTube and things like that. You actually have to go out there and get answers. So, I came to the conclusion that that eureka moment was not real. And like, yes, I might accomplish something, I might feel ecstatic and happy, but it's gonna go away, you know? It's gonna go away and I'm going to do something else and I'm gonna feel the same way. Or I might feel low because I didn't get it, but not low, but more so I'm gonna have my ups and downs. That is the conclusion I really came to. Because there's no manual to live your life. When you get here, it's kind of like you just spawn here. Anybody's played Call of Duty, no, you just kind of just spawn in, and it's just like, oh, well, we're here now. Let's go to war. It's the same thing pretty much. It's like you don't get a manual to do this, right? Now people might come in the comments and say, well, you have the Bible, you have the Quran. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I'm talking about in general. talking about in general to the point of like nobody, a lot of people don't have a plan for their life. Their own parents don't have a plan for their life. The parents just brought them here, and it's up to us now to pretty much figure out, okay, how are we gonna exert ourselves in this world, or how are we going to do our own thing in this world. We're all trying to figure this thing out. You're not the only one. All right. Some people just have a little bit more courage to admit it more than others. That's for sure. You got to be okay with the fact that what you believe today, you might not believe tomorrow. What you thought today, you might not think tomorrow because you're growing and you're evolving as a person. I've grown the most in this past year than I probably have from 18 to 21. Not because I was stagnant or anything like that, but it's the fact of I put myself in more situations to figure out who am I with my back's against the wall. What do I fold up? Do I get scared? Do I get nervous? Do I make something happen? Things like that. Change is the number one constant. Change is going to occur no matter if you change or not. Change is going to happen. Whether within you or around you, change is going to happen regardless. So all I wanted to make this video to say is embrace that. Experience it. It's your duty to it's your duty to keep being yourself. That's your duty to yourself. It's to be yourself going through life. It makes life 10 times easier when you can like be yourself through adversity, when you can be yourself at the highest points of your life, at the lowest points of your life, because change is going to happen, but you should be able to relatively grow and find a consistent idea of who you are. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that was the whole point of the video. So I thank you guys for watching, and I'm sorry for the webcam. I just did not feel like pulling up the camera. So you guys have a good day, and yeah.